Hi, everybody. Sorry, didn't realize we started. Welcome to Work Smarter, Not Harder, RepSpark Retailer 101, and New Brand Meet and Greet. My name is Claire Nash, and I'm on the account management team here at RepSpark. I see some people have already joined, so thank you for joining today. We hold these webinars once a month to help you stay ahead of the curve with our bite-sized videos crafted to deliver valuable information at the speed of our business. Today, we will review 2 video clips to help you improve your B2B strategies. In the first clip, we'll discuss the highly anticipated PFAS feature and its implications for retailers. The second clip will provide quick tips to help you prepare for the PGA Show that's coming up. But before we get to our Retailer 101 portion, let's meet one of our new brands on RepSpark. We have Ryan Gobet, the president and owner of Rollo Golf. He's joining us today from Canada. So Ryan, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, I'm in the show now. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me first, RepSpark. Thanks for everyone for taking some time out of your day to check this out. I know most of you probably here for the PFAS and the PGA stuff, but just going to keep it short here. And I'm not much of a presenter, especially presenting into the void as Claire and Reagan and I talked about before. But anyways, I don't want to spend too much time talking about pricing or anything like that. So I just put it on the screen here. As they mentioned, we're based out of Canada, but we just soft launched in the US September 1 and launched with RepSpark, which has been great so far. So thanks to everyone for coming. I'm going to start just quick running through a few of our products that we're excited about. Our core product's always been our polo. So it's right here. As you can see, we specialize in a little louder patterns. We use a polyspandex mix like most people are doing now, but honestly, that's not what sets our product apart. We've got a great product for a great price. But one thing I talked about with the crew ahead of time is that I think our biggest separator for you guys as retailers is that we don't advertise online. So what happened is we found that we were competing against our own products. I'll use a Canadian example. So Banff Springs in Canada is a pretty highly rated course. They sell a lot of our stuff, and they have since day one. We found that social ads essentially are AI learn. They learn who's interested in your product and they target them the hardest. So what happened is we were selling the highest volume of stuff online to those who sold it. So for example, we were selling lots at Banff Springs Pro Shop. We were selling lots online to people in Banff. So instead of competing with our own customers, we kind of changed our strategy and became 100% a wholesale. I see I have a question in the chat right away. I'll catch that in a second, Michael. So instead of doing that, now we're not competing with ourselves, or no, we're not competing with you guys. We would rather you guys buy 100 polos a year than you guys buy 50 polos and sell another 50 direct to consumers. Because ultimately for us, we really think that the benefit for us and for you guys is in volume. So just to answer your question, Michael, our products are produced in Vietnam. some of them, most of them are produced in Vietnam. So our polos and our pants are made in Vietnam. I'll cover the pants in just a second. Our pants are obviously a product we're really excited about. But you guys as retailers, I think that the biggest thing with us is, if we're being honest, I think there's a lot of customer or a lot of companies like us who make, let's call it, relatively the same products. I believe the structure behind our price essentially was we try to make our polos so they're not more than a tee time, or they're not more than a golf outing. My belief is it's hard to justify. And I'm not talking about you're playing your TPC sawgrasses and stuff. I mean, you're spending $800 on a tee time. Obviously, your clothing's kind of irrelevant. But if you go to a municipal course or you're a decent course, you try to make it so that your tee time's not $90 and your pole is $175. This product here is a product we just came out with. It's the products that taken me the longest by far ever to make. So we came up with a Rollo golf jogger. I was just going to go through some of the features. The waistband is one thing we're most excited about. So if you see in here, it's got an elastic waistband. So it's got a little bit of stretch, but not so much that you can't, let's say that you can't, that it stretches out and it's falling down by the end of the day. This here is a silicone in here. So when you tuck your shirt in, it doesn't come untucked, it doesn't slide down on you. Instead of going with, I think you guys all know what I'm talking about, with like an elastic cuff that kind of like zigzags, we went with like more like the sweatpant style cuff. Even the pockets are pretty high end. So essentially, this is actually made at the factory that at one point produced Lululemon. And when Lululemon got really big, one of their things was they needed to cut production costs to increase profit margins. So our manufacturer at that time basically said, yeah, that's not what we do. And the fabric grade on these, they said in their 30 years they've never used a fabric grade that's graded as high as ours. So they're obviously a lot of money to produce, but the benefit for us is it goes manufacturer, us, you guys, instead of, manufacturer, us, wholesaler, distributor, sales rep, you guys. So we're able to cut quite a bit of the cost out there. Yeah, so Regan here just commented on the polo I'm wearing here. This is our blade style collar. It took a little while to develop as well. To be honest, our manufacturer wasn't super thrilled with us. It's designed, you see a lot of them kind of come in here and look a lot like a t-shirt from distance. It was important to us to create something that still looked dressy, so that the blade collar doesn't have obviously a lot of whatever, but it's meant to run up your neck a little bit. It's great to wear to dinner, golf course, whatever it is, but it is meant to look a little dressier than your classic blade collar. I don't have a whole heck of a lot else for you guys. I think like the biggest thing for us is that we're looking out for you guys, number one. To answer, I guess, the last question, or there's no question there, but to answer a question many of you might have, with us being Canadian, you guys mostly being in the US, because we've soft launched in the US, our inventory is still housed in Canada, but we do have a warehouse in Texas. So what we do when you guys order is, rather than ship it directly to you, because then you get stuck paying duties on it, or you get stuck paying duties on what your cost is, we actually ship it to ourselves in Texas, pay the duties on it, and then it's sent from Texas to you guys through our American company. That way you guys aren't stuck with a duties bill or anything like that. We would essentially, for you guys, be no different than any company that's based in Florida or Texas or wherever it is in the US. By this time next year, we'll have inventory housed in Texas, which will increase our speed a little bit. But for now, you guys could expect to have it within a week. Yeah, Julian, I appreciate that. Appreciate that comment. That's nice. Alan, in terms of the embroidering, we typically try not to embroider our shirts, and the reason for it is that this material doesn't shrink, and we tell people not to. We tell people not to dry it, but we all know they're going to dry it. So what happens is embroidery shrinks and the polo doesn't, and you kind of end up with a little bit of that bunched up look in there. So what we do is we typically order our logos directly from our factory, whether it's a silicone logo or a heat press or whatever type of logo it is. We'll order the best logo for you guys. We'll chat with you guys ahead of time, but we have a pretty high quality logo process. And then we'll press them in-house here before we send them. But we can do logoing, we just prefer not to. I'm just going to go through a couple questions here if I have time. We will be at the PGA Show in Orlando. We don't have a booth. I'm going to wait until we have actual inventory in Texas before we go. I'll be there. So if anyone's interested in touching base with me, happy to, set aside a meeting in the lunch area or whatever. Private label, Michael, I'm glad you asked. I actually skipped that part of the presentation, but for example, so we do completely, our custom program is pretty solid. We have, this is a custom or one we just did for an agriculture company here. Mosaic's the company. So you see that we have the Mosaic logo on the back. This is typically the logo we use. That's a raised, like a silicone raised logo. It looks pretty nice. And then I think they went with one of their side products on the side. So for you guys, this is a completely custom pattern for them too. So say you guys are ordering for a hot sauce company, we can do the little hot sauce bottles or whatever. We can private label everything. Our MOQs in our custom program are 50 as well. So our compared to most custom programs, and that's fully custom. So if you want this pattern or plain black or plain whatever, the price is all the same because it makes no difference for us. The cost for us to produce that's the same. We have an in-house designer, and the prices actually match our polo MSRPs. So if you're 100 plus, you're at $39.99. If you're at 50 to 99, you're at $49.99. And our custom program, honestly, is pretty close to as large as our green grass program. So we're pretty close to 50-50 on that. And I mentioned the not going direct to consumers. We do, just to clarify on Juliana's, we do have a website. We don't advertise on our website. Thanks, Michael. And I'm looking forward to seeing any of you guys at the PGA show. But in terms of our custom program, if you guys are interested in shirts, it's definitely worth reaching out. I'd say it's one of our strongest programs. At one point, we actually almost became a strictly custom program. It's just with the amount of green grass we do, it's hard to leave them in the dust. So I appreciate the time. Any questions anybody has beyond this? I don't want to take too much of everybody else's time up here, but any questions you have beyond this, shoot me an email, give me a call. I don't currently have any reps in the US, so I'm going to personally take care of all the accounts we have down there for the first year at least. If that's all right with you guys, and we'll go from there. But I appreciate the time and thanks for everything here.
Thanks so much, Ryan, and thanks to the entire Rolo Golf team. We really appreciate your time today. And Ryan's also sticking around after our short videos. So if there are any, we have one last question. So ladies apparel. Do we have ladies apparel currently?
Yeah, I was just answering that in the chat. But yes, we do have ladies apparel. We don't have a deep line of ladies apparel right now, Julie. I'm actually trying to work with it's a women's influencer group right now on designing. I'm obviously not a lady, so it's way harder for me to design great products for women. So we have a sleeveless women's polo and a short sleeve women's polo right now. And that's the only two things we're carrying women's, but we are currently working on a golf dress, a little bit of layering stuff. But we're working with a women's influencer group because my belief is that it's very difficult for us to sell a really, really good product if I'm the one developing it. So essentially, the idea would be for it to come out as a collaboration with a women's golf group, and they would have pretty much exclusive control over what that product looks like, how it fits, how it uses. And the benefit to the group we're working with right now is they're aged between like 20 and 45. So we've got a little bit of and yes, Julie, we can do custom for women. And the MOQ, say you're doing 50 men's, you can tack on 25 women's as an add-on to that. So it's important for us that when we release ladies clothing, that the quality is as high as the men's. I think a lot of brands, it's an afterthought for them. They're like, shoot, we should have women's clothing. So they whip something together. For us, we won't release any products unless we feel like they're among the best stuff. So I'm excited about our ladies stuff. But with that being said, our women's line is not super deep, given the fact that it's a harder product for me to develop, for sure.
I love that. That was a great question. And I love to hear that strategy as a female that shops golf brands. So I love to hear about that product testing. So Ryan will be available after our presentation for any additional questions. But for now, let's jump in to the webinar designed to help you with the basics, what we call Retailer 101. And like I mentioned, after this short video presentation, we will have a live Q&A session. So please stick around, and myself and Ryan will answer any additional questions you have. Looking forward to answering those questions. Now, please enjoy the following videos.
Our PFAS product shipping restrictions feature, and I'm going to be showing you the different ways this affects the order flow. So first, I'm just going to start an order. So I've already got my customer in here. This one is shipping to New York. I'm actually going to be adding a dropship address to California right here. Okay, so I'm just adding that, and I'm going to click into these joggers right here. You'll see in the product details page that right here there's this little note that the brand configures, just telling you that the product contains PFAS and can't be shipped to certain restricted states. So I'm just going to go over here and add this product to my cart. And I'm also going to add this windbreaker. Okay, I'm going to head over to the cart now, and you'll see here that I have an action required. So it says that the product contains PFAS, and it says please try to remove the product and try again. So this will not let me go through to the order validation step until I resolve that error. So I'm just going to delete that product from here. And then I will refresh the validation. Okay, the order is valid, so we are good to go. So that is one way that it happens. Another way I'm going to show you is without the dropship address. I'm just going to exit all of this out. Some of our brands for certain states might configure this to only warn you that the product might have PFAS in it and not restrict your shipping. So I'm just going to re-add these joggers to the cart. So you can see here that there is a warning, and it says that the product contains PFAS, and it has the product details in here so that you know which one. If you see this warning, you still will be able to go through with your order and submit it. So I can still go through just like you see here. But if it's shipping to a restricted state, such as California, then you won't be able to go through and submit your order.
Are you attending the PGA Show this year? Well, we're here to share some quick tips to get prepared. 57 RepSpark brands will be exhibiting this year at the PGA Show, and we wanted to give you a quick reminder of how to get pre-approved, find out contact information, and some other helpful tips. So I'm logged on to the RepSpark Community, and I'm immediately directed to my dashboard. And from here, what I'm going to start to do is just review what brands have accepted me, and then take a look of what other brands I'd like to connect with. So I'm going to click from the dashboard to My Brands. So in the My Brands tabs, this is all the brands that I am already approved with and I'm already an existing customer. So for example, Good Golf, all I have to do is just click these 3 buttons if I need a little reminder of who's my sales rep and get the contact information and give them a call or email and like to book an appointment. So as a reminder, you can use these 3 buttons and then review all of your brands that you have already been accepted with. And if you scroll down, you'll see pending brands. These brands are brands that you've requested access but have not approved you yet. You can send them a reminder or again, find out their contact information. So now what I'd like to do is just go into the regular RepSpark tab and start looking at brands that I might like to connect with. So you'll see that if the green button says connect, this means that I'm not a customer yet. So Iliac is a great brand on RepSpark, and all I have to do is click connect and it will send them a request. So if I click the green connect button, you'll see it says optional customer code, but since I'm not a customer yet, I'm just going to go ahead and send the request. And that is done. And then another way to find out is, let's look at one of our featured brands. Even though I'm already approved, I'm going to take a look at Full Turn. And you'll see that Full Turn, again, has an email, a phone number. But if you scroll down, they'll have additional information. And what I also wanted to show is how you can pre-shop certain brands. So Gloveit is another great brand out of Scottsdale. And if you click the 3 dots, you'll see that they have, again, provided their email and phone number. But what I wanted to demonstrate is they also have included a sample catalog. So even if you were not approved yet as a buyer, I could just quickly download sample catalog and it will go straight to my computer and I can preview their product line. So these are just all ways to connect before the show, try to make appointments, and be prepared for a busy PGA show. Hi, everybody. So this slide that we have listed right now are some of the brands. We have at this count 57 RepSpark brands that will be exhibiting at the PGA Show. But Rolo Golf is a great example. Ryan mentioned he will be there and be taking meetings. He is just not exhibiting, but the brands you see listed below will be exhibiting at the PGA Show. So please get pre-approved, make appointments, contact your reps, and let's see if we have any questions. So please ask any questions to myself or Ryan. He will still be available. So I see the first question is from Luke. And it says, for those of us that are PGA members, do we have the opportunity for meeting credits? You know, I do not know the answer to that question this year. I know at last year, RepSpark offered some collaborations that gave PGA members credits, but I do not have the exact schedule, so I apologize for that, but we will follow up with you, Luke, and send a detailed schedule of events that are happening at the PGA Show and things that are offered. So that is a great question, and it's a great way to also plan your day for a busy few days when you're at the show. Any additional questions? We will just wait a second and see if anything pops up. Out of curiosity, how many people are attending that are watching today? Please, drop a comment if you are attending the PGA Show. But as you see, we have some great brands listed and new brands as well that are newer to the RepSpark community, like Rolo Golf. So we will just wait a few more minutes. But I did want to say thank you for everybody for joining today. Oh, great. Julie said she is attending, and I know Julie was asking about the female line for Rolo. So please, we're going to switch screens from our brands to a QR code. So on the QR code, you're going to see is a way to leave us feedback. We love feedback and we love new ideas. Some of our best webinars have been the result of feedback given from our retailers like you guys that have joined. So if you have any additional questions or ideas or would like more information about PFAS, please let us know. We have a question for Ryan. So let's pop up that question. And Ryan is here. So it says, Ryan, I have a Military Appreciation Day tournament in October and sell men's ladies shirts. That would be a great opportunity for a microsite. So Ryan, is that something you guys are offering?
Yeah, Julie, actually, funny you'd ask that. There's a course in Florida called Broad Stripes. It's a new group of owners just purchased it and rebranded it. And actually, last December they did a big program. They have every Friday everyone wears red, and it's called Red Day, which is Remember Everyone Deployed. I wish I had a shirt right here to show you guys, but we did a custom design for them. So that wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary for us. But the nice thing with our custom program is, like I said, it costs the exact same to make a plain black shirt as it does to make this shirt or any of the other shirts. So most of the designs we do now are all made by AI. So we're trying to get ahead of the curve in terms of that stuff. So essentially, if we can dream it up, we can make it. I should have known you guys were all going to be American. Should have brought our America shirt to show off. But certainly that wouldn't be an issue. And that's something we'd be looking forward to helping out with if we can.
Great. Thank you so much, Julie. And we, which actually what I was going to get into is we're going to be sending everyone that attended today or did not attend, but signed up, a recording of today's webinar. And we'll also follow up with any emails. We will pass them along to Ryan and the Rolo Golf team, so you can follow up directly. Another question for Ryan. So Ryan, if you're there, so we have custom polos. Are they made in Vietnam as well?
Yes, all of our polos are made in Vietnam. In Canada, we have a duty-free deal in Canada, so it's called the CPTPP. We do pay duties to take it into the US, but that's the purpose or why they're made in Vietnam. Vietnam's known for its poly-based materials too, so obviously it makes sense for us to be made there. We do make some products in China, like our hats, and we have a guy who can make poles if Vietnam's an issue for you. But our core product is made in Vietnam. Yeah.
Another great question. So we'll just wait a second because questions seem to keep coming in. But again, like we said, please leave us any feedback for any additional topics if you have any questions, and we will follow up with emails to Ryan and the Rolo Golf team. But I think that might have been the last question. So thank you so much. We hope to see you at next month's webinar, which will be our first of 2025, if you can believe it. So thank you so much, Ryan, for joining today. You were very informative, and happy holidays to everyone. We can't wait for the PGA Show. So thanks, everybody.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Bye.